All right, let's dive into something wild today. We're going to explore a completely different kind of economy, one where your savings aren't backed by gold or trust in the government, but by the actual laws of physics. We're talking about an entire system pegged to the joule, the base unit of energy. And you're about to see, holding on to your wealth in a world like this, well, it plays by a whole new set of rules. So just imagine this for a second. What if you checked your bank account and you saw your balance shrinking every single day? Not because you bought anything, but because the money itself was literally designed to just fade away. This isn't some kind of glitch. In this system, it's the main feature. So the question becomes, how on earth do you save for the future when your money is programmed to vanish?
Okay, so here's the fundamental rule of this world. All your liquid cash, what they call Joule credits, decays every single day. The whole system is built to mimic one of the most basic laws of physics, entropy. You know, the idea that energy naturally dissipates and spreads out. So think of your digital wallet kind of like a battery, just sitting on a shelf. Slowly but surely, it's losing its charge.
That's right, 2% every single day. Now that is an aggressive rate. It means that after just 1 month, almost half of any cash you haven't spent would have just evaporated. Poof, gone. And listen, this isn't inflation, where your money buys less because prices go up. The price of bread is the same. Instead, the number in your account literally goes down. It's all designed to stop one thing: hoarding.
You know, this isn't just some made-up sci-fi idea. It actually has a real name in economics: demurrage. It's basically a penalty for holding on to cash instead of putting it to work. Now, in our world, it's a pretty rare and controversial idea, but in a Joule economy, it's baked right into the currency itself. It's a law of nature that forces money to always be flowing, powering jobs, investments, and trade.
So what's the most mind-blowing consequence of this 2% daily decay? Well, physics itself puts a hard cap on how much cash you can ever have. It's wild. Even with a daily dividend payment from the national grid, your balance eventually hits a wall, a point where the money coming in is perfectly canceled out by the money decaying away. And that saturation point, that absolute maximum, is 1,735 megajoules. You literally can't become a Joule billionaire in cash. It's impossible.
And that's the big question, isn't it? It sounds almost broken. If your wallet maxes out at just over 1,700 megajoules, how could you ever save up for, say, a 5,000 megajoule battery for your home, let alone a car or a house? It feels like the system is punishing you, but it's actually designed to force you to think about wealth in a completely new way.
And this brings us to the solution. The trick to getting rich, or even just staying afloat, isn't trying to stop the decay. You can't fight physics. No. The key is to move your value from unstable forms into stable ones. You have to learn the new rules of the game, the hierarchy of wealth.
So, this table is basically your playbook. At the very top, you have your liquid credits. Think of it as cash. It's easy to spend, but it's decaying at 2% a day. That's for your coffee, your food, your daily expenses. The goal is to get any extra cash converted down this table as fast as possible. You want to turn it into things in the bottom 2 tiers. Energy bonds are kind of like government savings bonds that have zero decay, perfect for long-term goals like retirement. And at the very bottom, the most stable form of all are physical assets: your house, your tools, and especially your batteries. The whole strategy is just to move your wealth down the table.
So, let's talk about the first big hack for protecting your wealth. It's all about converting that fleeting digital energy into stable physical energy. This is how you build your own private vault, a safe harbor from that constant entropic decay.
So the multi-million joule question is, how do you take that digital money that's always slipping through your fingers and make it permanent? Well, the answer isn't in some complicated financial product. It's physical. It's real.
And this chart just says it all, doesn't it? That red dashed line is your digital wallet, just slamming into that 1735 megajoule wealth ceiling we talked about. But look at the solid green line. That's what happens when you constantly funnel your extra credits into a real physical battery at your home. You completely bypass the digital limit. Your battery becomes your personal vault. It's like a tax haven, but instead of avoiding taxes, you're avoiding entropy itself. Now, let's run the numbers, because this is where it really clicks. Yeah, a physical battery loses a tiny bit of charge on its own, maybe 0.1% a day. But compare that to the 2% you lose in your digital wallet. It's not even close. By storing 50 megajoules in that battery, you're saving almost a full megajoule every single day that would have just disappeared. Do that long enough, and in about 14.5 years, the battery has literally paid for itself, just in the decay fees it helped you avoid. Okay, but saving your money is really just a defensive move. The truly powerful strategy, the one that makes you wealthy, is to go on offense. And that takes a whole new mindset. You have to stop thinking about how to keep the wealth you have and start thinking about how to generate new wealth faster than the system can possibly take it away.
And this is how you do it. A standard solar roof, say in a sunny place like Brazil, isn't just about lowering your power bill anymore. It is a literal mint on your rooftop, printing new currency for you every single day the sun is out. We're talking about an average of 90 megajoules of new money every single day. And the difference this makes is just staggering. Look at this. Without solar, you get your standard government dividend, maybe around 35 megajoules a day. But with solar, you get that dividend plus the 90 megajoules your roof just made for you. Your daily income almost quadruples. You've transformed yourself from just a consumer in the economy to a producer, a micro-minter.
So you really have to let this sink in. In a system that is designed from the ground up to punish idle wealth, the ability to generate your own energy isn't just a nice little bonus. It's a financial superpower. It is the #1 way to get ahead of that decay and build real, lasting financial freedom.
So what does this all mean when you put it together? It means we have to completely throw out our old definition of what it means to be rich. It's no longer about the number in your bank account, because that number is always shrinking. True wealth becomes about your capacity to generate and preserve energy.
So the new wealthy? They are the producers. They own the solar roofs, the wind turbines, the hyper-efficient machines. They're constantly converting those fleeting digital credits into durable goods, or parking them in those zero-decay energy bonds. Their wealth is active, not passive. And the ultimate status symbol? It's not a fancy car. It's a high net contribution score on their record, proving that they generate more energy for society than they consume.
This quote from the source material just nails it perfectly. You can't just sit on a pile of money and let it grow. To stay on top, you have to be useful. Your wealth is directly tied to how well you maintain your assets. If your solar panels get dirty and become less efficient, your income drops. If your factory breaks down, your income stops. There are no parasitic billionaires here.
And all of this leaves us with one last big question to chew on. Our current system, for the most part, rewards the passive accumulation of wealth, money making more money just by sitting in the right accounts. This system does the exact opposite. It punishes hoarding and forces capital to be constantly reinvested and put to productive use. So it makes you wonder, is a system that punishes hoarding inherently more fair than one that rewards it? That's definitely something to think about.